Hello, I'm Shine. I'm here to talk to you about the new Komatsu Vantage series motor graders. As you can see behind me, I have a GD 555-5 model. We also have a GD 655-5 model. Whilst essentially they're very similar, both machines have slight differences. Firstly, the 555 will bring in with a 12-foot moldboard. The GD 655-5 will have a 14-foot moldboard. The main difference in the machines is the wheelbase. The GD 655 is slightly longer to accommodate the larger moldboard, as you would expect. The back end of the machine will give you 9 scarifier tines and 3 ripper tines, and that's standard. One of the key features in this motor grader is the hydraulic driven fan, as you can see. It's large in diameter, the cooling cores have increased fin spacing, so that's a must for all hot environments. But more importantly, the operator can actually reverse the fan for a cleaning function, and he does it all on a switch within the cabin. Ground level refueling. There's no need for the operator to climb on the tandems and potentially fall off, so that's a good safety feature. The fuel tank capacity is 416 litres, so there's ample fuel for all those longer shifts. If you're running 14 by 24 tyres, your overall width is under 2.5 metres wide, and that's excellent if you're tramming down roads. A couple of drain points. We can drain the coolant here. We can drain sludge from the tank down here, so it's easy to get to. Now let's look at the engine bay doors, because they're huge. No problem with accessibility in the Vantage series graders. Okay, a couple of maintenance points for the operator. The engine coolant overflow bottle, fuel water separator here on the pre-filter system, the alternator. It's a 90 amp alternator, and we'll fit that alternator to both models, so there's plenty of capacity with 90 amps. Transmission oil filter here, it's a spin-on, spin-off type, conveniently located. Battery isolation switch is located up here. And if you look further up top, we've got a Turbo 2 pre-cleaner, and that's fitted as a standard feature. The 555-5 will have a standard 14 by 24 radial tyres. The 655 will bring in with 17.5 radials. But if you need either size for your application, we can certainly match the tyre to the machine. That's not an issue. The most distinguishing feature with the Vantage series graders is the cabin. It's a hexangular Y-pillow design. Now it's new, but what it gives you is class-leading visibility. As you can see, a very large capacity cabin with very wide door openings. So excellent access and egress. The circular saddle. There's a couple of features with that. Firstly, it distributes the weight very well. And secondly, you get maximum reach to both sides of the machine. We have blade accumulators. Now, they're fitted as standard. Now, the accumulators work on the blade lift ram cylinders, so if you hit immovable objects, there's less stress on the machine and the operator. Couple that with maximum hydraulic power at idle RPMs. Standard is a circle slip clutch, and I'd consider that a must for all environments. Righto, a couple of points down this side of the machine for the operators. Hydraulic oil sight glass, nice and easy to see. For the maintenance guys, you can drain the hydraulic oil from the tank right here on this remote. Transmission, oil and fill point. There's a hot and cold check on the dipstick there. I told you about the big doors on the other side. How's that for accessibility? A couple of points in here to check. Engine oil check point, engine oil fill point, an air filter indicator here, and it's important to note that this also has a warning lamp which is located in the cabin. There's a primary and secondary air filter here with radial seal, and as you can see, the engine is well contained here. We're using a firewall here, which is very similar to our WA series wheel loaders. But important to note, by having the firewall there, we can get nice clean air to come through our cooling cores. Now there's 3 cooling cores. There's the radiator, the aftercooler, and the transmission oil cooler. And note, the fan has its own cooling core as well. Now lastly, let's have a look at where we drain the engine oil. There it is, nice and easy to get to. So let's go inside the cabin. I told you about the hexangular Y-pillow cabin and how large it is. Time for a closer look. There you go, what a room with a view. As I said before, class-leading visibility from the hexangular cabin. So there's a few points to mention here. Comtrax. The machine is standard with Comtrax level 2.5. This machine has a dynamic noise level of 74 decibels. Now that's dynamic, that's excellent. We've also got a new console. It's an electronic type console, similar to our other machines, and it has an internal maintenance monitoring system. We can even bring up fuel figures from in here. The maintenance monitoring system is nothing new to Komatsu. It's been running on the WA series loaders for quite some time. We have a standard ISO pattern layout in the controls. And don't forget, I told you we're going to give you a spare valve free of charge. The pedals on the floor are a standard layout. Additionally, the Dash 5 now has an electronic throttle control. Now there's 2 settings for that. There's manual and automatic. So for those applications where you've got long haul grading, such as patrol grading, I'm sure the electric throttle control will be of great benefit. The gears haven't changed. It's similar to the Dash 3, 8 forward and 4 reverse. A couple of important points. I mentioned the accumulators earlier. This is the switch where we engage them or disengage them. The last feature I'd like to mention in the cabin is the dual mode transmission. The dual mode transmission, the operator can select manual or torque converter mode. Now manual mode is just simply direct drive. Most operators are familiar with that system. Torque converter mode, the machine won't stall, and you also get an automatic function. If the operator selects F8 or forward 8th, the machine will actually move off in forward 5th and change up and down as required. An additional feature in the Vantage motor graders is a non-stall feature in manual. If the operator's in manual mode and he's constantly stalling, this machine won't actually let you stall. It flicks over to the torque converter side of the transmission. No other grader on the market has got this feature. There you go. The Komatsu Vantage motor graders. Class-leading visibility from a hexangular Y-pillow cabin and the dual mode transmission. It's hard to beat